Hi folks, welcome to my channel. So today I go through you with guys with my cloud training part 2 with the basics of AWS. So in my last tutorial I've shown you the basics of cloud computing and the advantages, some benefits and types of cloud computing over there. So this is our cloud training part 2. So I will go through with your guide with the AWS tutorial which is designed for all the professionals who are interested to learn about cloud computing and will help you in career paths aimed for AWS solution architect, AWS engineer or cloud engineer, etc. So in this AWS tutorial today we will first try to understand what is AWS and then shall move ahead to learn about its services and the different domains in AWS. So let's get started without wasting any time. Let's move ahead. So guys, let's take a have a look what is AWS. So AWS Web Services is a secure cloud service platform offering compute power, database storage, content delivery and other functionality to help business scale and grow. What does mean? Means AWS is a Amazon.com subsidiary basically which offers cloud computing services at very affordable rates, therefore making its customer base strong from small scale companies to big enterprises. So it is a cloud provider which offers us a platform to use its services to share the details and while offering many of the services while fulfilling the organizational goals to scale and grow. So there's a many more services, so we'll look after all the services and let's go ahead and take a look. So this is the Amazon history. So as in 1994 the Jeff Bezos established this company, and now in 1995 Amazon.com launched its online bookstore. In 2005 Amazon Publishing was launched. In 2006 Amazon Web Services was launched, which is cloud service, and 2007 Kindle was launched and so on. Afterwards, in 2015 Amazon Home Services and Amazon Echo were launched. So I'm not talking about all the history of the Amazon. So our main focus will be on Amazon Web Services, which was launched on March 19, 2006, with the offerings of many services such as EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud, which is S3, Simple Storage Service, SQS, Simple Queue Service, and so on afterwards. So let's go ahead and take one by one in all the services which is available in foundational. So we'll talking about the foundational services in this tutorial. So it includes the compute service, the network and content delivery service, the database, security identity, and the storage service. So let's have a look what is compute. So it is used to process data on the cloud by making use of powerful processors which serve multiple instances at a time. So this is a compute service. So I will be giving a brief about the compute services and the resources comes under it. So I'll be showing all these in our coming slides, so have patience. Let's move ahead and see what is network and content delivery. So networking, it includes services which provide a variety of networking features such as security, faster access, etc. And on the other hand, content delivery is used to cache data nearer to the user so as to provide low latency. Okay, let's go ahead and have a look on database. So the database domain is used to provide reliable relational and non-relational database instances managed by AWS. On the other hand, if you look after the storage, so storage, as the name suggests, is used to store data in the cloud. That is, this data can be stored anywhere. So if you look into the database storage and the storage, both are the storage services. So there is a difference between these two. What are these? So the difference between two is that the database is a data storage which stores data, If, say example, it stores the reliable relational and non-relational databases. On the other hand, the storage is a object oriented, which is file oriented storage. So it stores file. So this is the difference between database and storage. So do not get confused by the term database storage. So as this both are the storage device only, but there is a difference in between. Let's go ahead and look security identity. So it includes services for user authentication or limiting access to a certain set of audience on your AWS resources. So it is like as you can say authentication, which means it uses your username password. So I'll give you about the brief what it includes. So in our coming slides I'll go through. So let's move ahead and look after compute service. So these are the services it offers in under compute. So first up we have EC2. So the EC2, which is Elastic Compute Cloud, so is a web service which provides resizable compute capacity in the cloud. So it is designed to make the web scale computing easier for developers. And for example, if a user using a i3 processor and he wants to upgrade into i5 processor, so this type of resizability or flexibility is possible under this compute service and EC2. So this is EC2 all about. Next up we have Elastic Beanstalk. So Elastic Beanstalk lets you quickly deploy and manage applications in AWS without worrying about the underlying infrastructure. So actually it is an advanced version of it's EC2, advanced version of Elastic Compute Cloud. So what does it include? It gives an environment such as if a user wants to launch an instance with the environment say Java or PHP. So it has an environment in Elastic Beanstalk. So user can go with Elastic Beanstalk with such environment. So what is the difference between Elastic Beanstalk and Elastic Compute Cloud? So both are the instance, but in Elastic Compute Cloud you have to uh, manage all the underlying infrastructure. You have to deploy all the uh, applications if whatever you want. If you have to set your own environment according to your needs, so you have to manage everything. You have to deploy, manage, and maintain virtual servers by your own. On the other hand, in AWS, you only have to deploy application. So as an example, it gives you an environment with the Java installation or PHP installation, depending on your need, depending upon your needs. So you can go through with Elastic Beanstalk if this is your uh, requirements. Next up, we have AWS Lambda. So AWS Lambda is used to execute backend code without worrying about the underlying architecture. You just need to upload the code and it runs. It is that simple. So it is a serverless compute. So you did not to have deploy or and manage or maintain virtual servers as in Elastic Compute Cloud or to deploying application as in Elastic Beanstalk. You have to just run a script over there and execute that script or code, and it runs as an automation for you depending upon your scripts. So is that simple. Let's move ahead. Look after auto scaling instances. So the auto scaling feature is used to scale up and down automatically as and when required. For example, in my previous video I have given you example about the peak times. If you haven't seen my last video, go and watch my last video about the cloud computing, so you get the better picture about what is cloud computing, and then go ahead for this tutorial. So you will learn more about all the cloud computing of basics with AWS provider. So in auto scaling, I'm talking about the peak time. So say example, the peak time is in the evening, which is 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. 8 p.m. So in this timing, the if my live website is running on my server and during this peak time, my traffic goes up, and there's huge latency on my website. So to manage and to tackle such type of issue or workload, I need to get more servers so that my workload distributes among all the servers to maintain the latency and traffic. So what our peak time? If I buy more servers according to my requirements, but after peak time, if my latency goes down uh, and latency goes down and the traffic goes down, so my most of the servers according to my requirements which I've bought uh, will be idle most of the time. So in my auto scaling service, I need to not to worry about the service to server to get to scale up and down. It do for me automatically. If I enable this service in my cloud, so it scales up and down automatically according to the requirements and according depends upon the workloads. So there is also a service called Elastic Blocks Load Balancer. Elastic Load Balancer. So they both goes hands to hand. Means Elastic Load Balancer basically does what it does. It distributes the workload among all the servers. So Elastic Load Balancer and autoscaling goes hands to hand. So I will be talking about the Elastic Load Balancer as well in my coming service. So I'll show you what is it. Yeah. Next up we have network services. So first we have content delivery, which is Amazon CloudFront. So Amazon CloudFront is a content delivery network which is used to cache data to an edge location, which reduces latency. So if you ask what is edge location, so a site that CloudFront uses to cache copies of your content for faster delivery to users at any location. So next up we have direct connect. So it is just like a lease line. So basically direct connect is gives you about it gives you the direct service through means a connection uh, through their lease line. This is as simple. If I give more about direct connect, so it helps you establish a private connection between your on-prem and the AWS. So I've said this is like a lease line connection, gives you faster delivery, faster network, and faster data transfer among your on-prem and AWS. So for giving better network performance and throughput than an inter-based connection. So you can correlate with the lease line connection as well. Next we have Route 53, which is our DNS service. So it is a highly scalable, highly available domain name system by Amazon. The name is in reference to the TCP and UDP's port 53 where DNS requests are addressed. So next up we have load balancing. So I've shown you in my previous slide about the auto scaling. So I have shown you the ALB is used to distribute the workloads among the all the servers. So it regularly checks the health checks of all the servers and distributes the uh, traffic into the server accordingly. So I have said you the elastic beanstalk and auto scaling goes hands to hand. So basically elastic elastic load balancer uh, is only used to distribute the workload. It automatically manages the workload on your instances and distributes them to other instances in case of any instance failure, as I said. So next up we have VPC, which is Virtual Private Cloud Network. So basically it's a service lets you launch AWS resources in a virtual network that you define. So it closely resembles a traditional network that you had to operate in your own data center. So this is I will be giving the demos of or brief description of all the services which I'm going through with in the short description with this tutorial. So I will be giving all the demos in my coming videos. So don't worry, I will give you all the brief description and with the hands-on of all these services. So let's move ahead and look our next service, which is storage services. So so first up we have object storage, which is S3. So S3 is a object oriented file storage service. So which as S3 stands for simple storage service. So it is used for storing data in the form of objects in the AWS cloud. This is as simple. So you have to create a bucket, as you can relate to a folder. So a folder is like a bucket in S3, and you in your folder you deploy or you save your or you to you load your files over there. So you can correlate files as object in S3. So you in S3 in your bucket you deploy your object over there, and it's this is a storage device only, object storage. Next up we have EBS, which is block storage. So Amazon Elastic Block Storage is a storage service wherein each block of storage acts like a separate hard drive. So you can correlate with your hard drive, which you use to store some data of your system. So it is just like that. It you have to attach this to your instance in AWS to store all the data of your server as a block storage in this EBS. Next up we have archival data, which is archive storage. So we have Amazon Glacier and S3 infrequent access. So Amazon Glacier is like a cold storage. So if you need not to access a file which is used to look after very few days or months, so you can store into the Glacier. If you say example, if a doctor has a record of patients, of all the patients, and somehow um they has to record all the patients details. So and if he did not to access frequently of that storage, so he can uh, store that details of or records of their patients in the S3 Glacier and Amazon Glacier. And if he needs to check after the details of the patients, if the old patients comes into his clinic for the regular checkup, so if he needs to get the details from the previous report, so he can retrieve that information from that cold storage when needs. So basically, the archive storage is a storage which is infrequent use at your end. It's simple. Next up, we have file storage, which is elastic file storage. So it is also a object storage, you can say. So if you correlate it with, if you see, we have object storage, block storage, and file storage. So there's a difference between these three. So as so I will make a different video in between these the difference between these three. So I will give you the brief description over there. So I'll just give a short difference between these three. So in elastic file storage, it scales automatically according to the uh, storage, storage in bytes or in gigabytes. Means if you attached this file storage to your instance, so if your data increases in your server, so you need not to add additional storage to store the data. If with the help of if EFS, it scales automatically. On the other hand, block storage, if you, for example, if you have attached to your instance of about 8 GB and it is running out of memory, So what you will do, you have to attach another 8 GB or 10 GB storage, block storage according to requirements to store that data. Simple. On the other hand, the S3 is a file storage, as I said example. Next, we have bulk data transport, which is AWS Import Export Snowball. So it offers physical transfer of data between users location and AWS data centers. So the device which is used to transfer the data is called Snowball. So it's a physical transfer of your data to the cloud from your on-prem to the data center to the cloud. Yeah. So next we have backup. So we have the cold archive storage and storage gateway. So it is used to provide seamless integration with the data security features between your on-prem software applications and software appliance and AWS cloud. That's it. So next up we have database services. So database services, first we have Amazon Aurora. So it is a relational database engine that combine the speed and reliability of high-end commercial databases and the cost effectiveness and simplicity of open source databases. So if you compare with all other databases such as RDS, DynamoDB, and Redshift, so Amazon Aurora itself is 5 times faster than all these. So let's we'll talk about RDS, which is Amazon Relational Database Services. Is a managed relational database service which does routine database tasks in six familiar databases like Amazon Aurora, MySQL, MariaDB, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, and PostgreSQL. So next up we have DynamoDB. So it is a fully managed NoSQL database service. So it is known for extremely low latencies and scalability. Next up we have Redshift. So Amazon Redshift is a fully managed petabyte scale data warehouse service in the cloud. So next up we have security and identity services. So we have first dealing with IAM, which is identity and access management service. So in this service we have users, we have roles, policies, and much more. So I will be giving you the demo of these two in our coming videos. So I will give you a brief description about IAM, how to create user, how to create a group, how to create policy, to how to add user into group, and how to create role as well. So I will give you the demo as well. So it is basically a service that helps you to control access your AWS resources for your users. So basically you have to create here you can create a user and you give a credentials to it by creating you can create a console access or secret key access key with some codes and to manage the AWS console and according to your needs you can give the permissions accordingly. So I give brief description in the next coming videos, so you'll get the more better picture. So as of now, remember that it is a service which helps you to control access to your AWS resources for your users. That's it. Next up we have Amazon Inspector. So it is a security service. Basically, Amazon Inspector is an automated security assessment service that helps improve the security and compliance of applications deployed on AWS. So means Amazon Inspector automatically assesses application for exposure, vulnerabilities, and deviations from best practices. Basically, it gives an assessment, it's a security assessment which helps you check for unintended network accessibility of your Amazon EC2 instances and for vulnerabilities on those EC2 instances. So I will give a brief demo of these two in our coming next videos. So don't worry, I will give all the hands-on demos and brief description about all the services which I have, which we are learning in today in this tutorial. So I'll give all the hands-on demos on all the services. So you'll get a picture of all the services. So do not worry. So next up, we have Amazon Guard Duty. So it is a service. It's a detection and monitoring service, which continuously monitors for malicious activity and unauthorized behavior to protect your AWS accounts and workloads. So with the cloud, the collection and aggregation of account and network activities is simplified, but it can be time consumed for security. So yeah, so with Guard Duty, you now have an intelligent and cost-effective option for continuous threat detection in AWS cloud. So I hope you get all some basic clear picture of all the services which we have learned today, and so I hope you if thank you guys. So I'll wait for your comment if you have any doubt. So comment on the comment section. So I will help you directly on the comment. And don't worry, I'll give all the hands-on experience on all the services in my coming videos. So stay connected. Thank you.